Nice hand, don't you think? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Bill, can you hear me?
I can. There you are.
Yeah, okay. Now we're connected.
Before I seen it.
Well, this might be the last time, like last time when you talk and I'd talk right over you on accident.
Yeah.
I don't think that'll happen tonight. Tonight, good stuff, man. Good stuff.
It's gonna be a good show. What time we get? I gotta watch the clock.
Well, it is 5:28, man.
2 minutes till.
Let me pin you to the top. Yeah. We have 3 people watching. 4 people watching.
4 people watching.
Yeah,
There's always a 4.
Well, I don't need you yelling anyway. Fred, I don't know if I can. I'm probably going to yell like an old man, so just get ready for it. That's what you get from an old man, yelling. Get off my yard. I say that a lot. I do. I mean, what the heck?
Yeah.
So do it, man. It's 5:29. By the time you hit the music, it'll be 5:30.
All right, let's start it up.
Start it up, man.
If you've been thinking about getting
But first, this advertisement from YouTube.
Oh, fucking YouTube.
Ladder makes it quick and easy to get covered.
It's a catchy tune.
Alright, stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image and the style that you're used to. I look funny, but yo, I'm making money, see? So yo, world, I hope you're ready for me. I got
All right, everyone. Welcome to Over the Hump. This is episode 6.
Yeah.
The Pendergrass Day edition.
Yes, you know what? Thumbs up. You know what? Put like your own. Fuck you. I'm going to like my own post, man. Here we go. Like.
There you go.
Like
it. Love it.
I think I described it the best. Sports talk used to be the wild, wild way. We didn't know anybody.
It did used to be.
You know? Nobody. Didn't know a soul in that group. Not a soul, Bill. Nothing.
I just wish people would have actually got to listen to the actual radio show and realize just how wild and crazy for the day.
Yeah, well, and then actually when we go out and drink at night, people come up to us and say, "Hey, man, what do you think about the Washington Redskins this year?" People don't even fucking know. What do I think about the Redskins? I think they suck. That's why. That's what I think. I think the Redskins suck. Racist. So,
yeah.
But far away, Bill. Let's get this show on the road.
All right, on today's episode, we will talk about, segment 1, we're going to talk about the black cat. The black cat on the field.
Okay.
The cat that ruined the Giants' night.
It wasn't their play, was it? Was it their play? Because you sure their play wasn't that?
No, it was the cat.
Sure that they couldn't stop the run and they couldn't stop the pass. They couldn't knock down. If I couldn't get any pressure, they're on a rebuild.
We'll move on to the Cucks and their relocation, possibly to London. We actually have Spanos' comments on that now, which are perfect for this group. We'll preview the Thursday night game between the Cucks and the Raiders. What a night for him to be gone.
Yeah, I know.
Should have kept him in the group a little longer.
No, your timing is impeccable. And right now that was not good timing, but oh well, fuck him.
No, and then I'll be joined by Max, and we're going to talk about last night's Champions Classic, the Kansas Duke game and the Kentucky Michigan State game. Do a little preview of what we're going to be doing going forward on the show in the future. And then after we're done, Jason's going to join for what ought to be an exciting segment. We're going to talk about FSU and what they've become.
Sometimes I just, that's the part I wish I could join at. I think Bob's going to come up.
Engine 27, you responded.
First off, I can't believe Creech actually has an emergency.
No, it's at Nellis.
Oh, it's a Nellis. That explains that then. Never mind. Yeah, that's when I wish, that's when I wish I can jump in because we all have opinions. But that's cool. We'll keep going.
And then we'll close it out with the first college football poll rankings, which should be pretty good. All right, let's get right into it with segment 1, the Black Cat.
Oh, frick.
I'm going to get a commercial every time, and I preset this like half an hour ago.
You know,
See, this is low budget.
They have this thing called iTunes. All right. And you can get Janet Jackson on there anytime you want. You know, it pops right up. You don't want to.
The sound doesn't sound as good.
Yeah, you don't want to spend the $10. You cheap bastard. You don't want to spend $10. I get it. Bro.
All right, we talked. I've got the iTunes. I've got the family pack. It's like $15 a month.
You can't beat that.
I know. Okay, a little intro and background onto what happened with the Black Cat. For those that missed it, Black Cat ran out on the field. Hey, after it did, Giants just completely fell apart.
Yeah, because of the Black Cat.
Their opponent.
Sure.
It's all because of the Black Cat.
Yeah.
But the part of this I want to cover, I've got the 2 calls. I've got the ESPN call, and then I have the great Kevin Harlan, who, hey,
he's the best in the business.
Who the best in the business is, you will know after you listen to this. Here first is the ESPN call.
Now on the field.
Booger up there.
Last week, and a black cat is running across MetLife Stadium. Oh.
Booger.
It's going to be bad for the Cowboys. If you're superstitious, a few weeks ago we were here for a Monday Night Football game. We had another Halloween thing. Now comes this. Maybe we need to bring the ghost back to give it the cat.
Yeah. You know what's bad is Booger sucks. Witten was worse. Witten was worse. That's the whole thing.
So we've gone from seeing ghosts to black cats now on Monday Night Football on that line. Wow, he said this ought to be fun here.
Oh, please stop. They're bad enough to listen to on Monday night.
That was bad. Hey, but thankfully he's not on that stupid stand behind the bench anymore.
God, he's terrible.
Okay, now here is Kevin Harlan's call.
That fat fuck needs a freaking boom to actually sit.
You're right.
A black cat is taking the field. A black cat is running from the 20 to the near side, the 10. From the 39 in Dallas, here's a short throw down the middle, caught by Ingram. Caught at the 35, went to the 30. Now the cat running the other way. And so it's into the 30 to the 25 to the 24-yard line of the Dallas Cowboys. It's a catch run of 15. Now the cat is stopped at the 50. So is it bad luck for the Giants? Is it bad luck for the Cowboys?
Who does games with him on Monday night?
Watching the cat run zigzag all over the field.
I'm not sure.
I think that's Trent Green. It's Trent Green, who's really good at it, by the way.
Yeah, that is Trent Green.
He's a little bit late.
Nothing.
He is spinning and looking. Now he's at the 5. He's walking. He's walking to the 3. He's at the 2. And the cat is in the CDW red zone. CDW.
You gotta make sure you get the plug in. Get the plug in. Had nothing to do with Daniel Jones not being able to convert touchdowns in the red zone. Nothing to do with that.
Nothing. And it blended the actual play and that cat
he's
into
he's the best in the business, man. Hey, this guy was the voice of
This is on radio. And I actually was in the truck driving when this happened, and I got to hear this live, and I'm like, my God, I got to get this.
Yeah, Harlan,
this was amazing.
I don't understand why no network has picked him up as the number 1.
And he's not just football.
No, he does football and basketball. Well, he
He
just
can
does.
do basketball,
Well, he just.
and
I never heard him do baseball. Just football and
he
basketball.
can do hockey as well. From what I read, I looked him up a little just to see what all he had done. And I guess in the past, when he started out, he was doing some college.
Well, he's
hockey.
a Midwestern guy, so he does everything from Wisconsin down to Kansas City is what he's primarily focused on that. So, well, his son-in-law is Sam Decker, so hey, good genes for him.
Right.
And
But
Wisconsin boy.
ESPN should run to him.
I know
and
they
say,
should.
Hey, how much do we have to pay you? Because we'll do it.
Oh, I've always liked Kevin Harlan. He's especially when he does basketball straight between the eye. Oh man, yeah, Kevin Harlan is pretty good.
It is amazing.
Uh,
And if you missed the end of the game, after that cat, Jones couldn't complete a pass. Barkley
Had
couldn't run.
nothing to do.
The
Well,
Giants
hold on,
forgot
man.
how
No,
to
hold on.
tackle.
But they got one pass. This is the problem with the
That's
Giants. They had
crazy.
one pass on the screen that worked. All right,
Yeah.
don't run it again because you know what? They're going to be looking for it. They tried to run it again, and Dallas was waiting for it. The Cowboys, I know they're the Cowboys, but that's a pretty good football team, man. They were waiting for it. That's like if you're the Cleveland Browns and you call the same play twice in a row. Yeah,
Hey,
he's going
At
to.
least they didn't run the shovel pass.
What that shovel pass is like this. That was like I'm serving fucking pies, man. Jesus. But it's like you just want to get my blood pressure. All you guys in Sports Talk, every one of you today got my blood pressure up. So you know what? Fuck you guys. Said with love.
Happy Pendergast Day.
Yeah, happily. Can somebody get on there and say something so you can like your own post? You fucking
We
guys.
had that today.
Yeah.
We had
God almighty, man. You fucking guys, you like.
All right. Let's move on to segment 2, which is the relocation of the Cucks, who are San Diego's team.
There's
And
nobody's
currently
team.
playing-
Yeah, well, wait.
Currently
I'll wait.
Currently
wait.
playing in South Compton.
I'll wait. I'll wait. You play it. I'll wait. Go.
They're playing in South Compton. They're
Don't
playing
you?
their road home games there.
What?
They have no fan base.
Okay, are you playing a clip or do I have to? Or can I chime in
Oh, I'm
now?
gonna play the
Play that clip,
Okay,
man.
all right, let's play the clip.
Play a clip.
Okay.
Of course, I'll tell you what. Let me know when it comes on, and I'll just.
Okay? We're not going to London. We're not going anywhere. We're playing in Los Angeles. This is our home.
That's your home. Fuck you. Yeah.
Okay. If you want me to say it again, I'll say it again.
Fuck you. You suck.
Thank you.
He blamed it all on the commissioner. This is the
How?
man who said we are absolutely 100% not leaving San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
We're not leaving. It's not going to happen.
Hey,
We are San Diego's team.
a couple of things, man. Yeah, they are San Diego's team. A couple of things. This isn't the first. I said this. I touched on this a couple of times. This isn't the first time that the Rams and the Chargers have shared Los Angeles. They did it back in 1960. Now, the Chargers actually were a good team, but no, you motherfuckers, I wasn't alive back then either, so shut up. All right? But the Chargers had to compete with the Rams. The Rams were pulling in 70,000 people into the Coliseum. And then the Chargers would come play, and they pull in 10. They actually won. They had the best record in the AFL, and they could have hosted the AFL championship game in 1960, the first one against the Oilers. But they had to go play in Houston because they didn't want to show a picture of 10,000 people sitting in LA Coliseum when it holds 105,000 people. So this
Right.
isn't the first time that this has happened with the Chargers. And maybe, and I'm hoping people from California will back me on this, all right? You've got 4 big cities. Well, you got a bunch of big cities, but the 4 biggies in California, obviously San Francisco, Los Angeles, and then you've got 2 cities that are close in proximity to them, Oakland and San Diego. Los Angeles looks down on San Diego. San Francisco looks down on Oakland. I'm not saying one city's better than the other. That's how the people think there. They really do. So when that'd be like the Raiders saying, "Hey, look, we're going to go across the bay and play in San Francisco." It ain't going to happen. And when they tried that, the only other team that would have worked in Los Angeles, in fact, they would have been better than the Rams, would have been the Raiders. They still had a fan base there. The Raider fans, because LA and Oakland, you're still in California, you still had two fan bases there. It would have worked out much better if they would have if they would have been works for you and I, because at least we have NFL football for us. Yeah, but even though it's the fucking Raiders.
And I even said this for us here in Vegas. The Chargers would have worked here. There are enough Charger fans here that it would have worked, and it's close enough to San Diego.
Right.
The Raiders, you could have put the Raiders in Prim. They're going to
the Raiders will work anywhere. Well, I take that back.
Right.
The Raiders will work for most teams looking for a franchise, most cities. But if they went to London, here's how it would work in London. They would have to get 3 other teams or 4 other teams to go over there and play with them and start their own division. All right? Because that is a logistical. I mean, but where else are you going to play? Hey, coming up today, Paris taking the Paris ICER. What would be their fucking.
No, they're talking 4 teams in England.
Okay, so Birmingham, would that be one?
Nope.
4 in London.
You have a stadium that could do it in Manchester.
All right.
You have Tottenham has a stadium in London.
All right.
Wembley.
And
Chelsea.
Yeah,
stadium
all in London. Okay.
You would have to put 3 teams in London and 1 in Manchester.
No,
but it still wouldn't work.
No, it wouldn't work because they don't give a shit enough about football over there.
Now, the best scenario I've heard for this whole thing with the Chargers moving would be that the Texans would move from the South to the AFC West.
Mm-hmm.
The Dolphins would move from the East to the AFC South.
Makes sense.
The Cucks would move. The London Cucks would be in the East, which would force Belichick to go across the pond.
That ain't gonna happen
every single year.
You want to know where the Chargers can move and they would work right now?
Bakersfield?
No.
They would have just as many fans.
They probably would. Hey, look, Bakersfield is considered the asshole of California, where you bend over. Jeez. But if they want to move another team, all right, because right now, and that's it. Before we get to the Thursday nighter, which should go away, the only other city that I can think of that would actually work for the Chargers and change their name and just start over again would be San Antonio. 10th biggest city in the country. San Antonio don't give a shit about Dallas, and they don't give a shit about Houston. And the only one who can come in here and confirm that would be Greg Barnes. All right?
Yep.
Greg Barnes would be the only, but I've heard him say, hey, look, bring him here, man.
And they were selling out that American Football League of underpaid players.
Yeah.
They were selling out the dome for.
And I know, man. And that's just it. Think about it. When the Saints went there to play for a few games when they had Katrina, the start of FEMA, or the start of NIMS,
right.
They actually were pulling in great crowds. Texas is a football-loving state, man. We're no longer the Chargers. We're the San Antonio Wranglers or whatever they want to call them, all right? Whatever they want.
Whatever.
San Antonio Riverwalk. I don't know, man. Whatever what the fuck? I don't know what they want to name them, but it would work in San Diego or in San Antonio. They can't go back to San Diego. They're not wanted in Los Angeles.
Nope.
No. So that's where they should go.
San Antonio Crockett.
The San Antonio Alamos.
You can do that.
The San Antonio Alamos.
With the musket and everything.
Jeez, what a clusterfuck. They're not going to. They are definitely not going to London. And 3 teams in London, get the fuck out of here, man. Put one in Paris, man, and just put on. What was it? Jim Rome said, if you're playing anybody from France, just put on a freaking German helmet and call yourself Klaus, and they say, "I surrender."
I forget who said it the other day, but they said, if we're going to put a team in London, why can't we put a team in Honolulu where the players will want to go?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. No. Let's put a shit. No, fuck no. That's too much. Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Thursday night preview.
Wait till you.
All right, Thursday night we have the South Compton Cup traveling to Oakland to take on the Raiders. And if anyone's offended from Compton for me calling them that,
The Inglewood,
okay.
you can call them Inglewood too. The Inglewood Cucks. Inglewood,
That's where
don't
they're
go there at night, man. Oh. You know what?
This
Go ahead.
could be actually a good game.
Oh, I think it's going to be a really
Shame
good
it's
game.
on Thursday night.
I think it's going to be really good. But first off, that Thursday nighter, here's the thing. That Thursday night game, now you got the teams on an even they're on even ground now because they have the same prep.
Right.
They have the same preparation. All they're looking for now is healthy players, and it's their weekend off. My opinion, like I did that. My opinion, the hands. Even though I think I like what Oakland has done. I really like what John Gruden has really done with that team. So far, they haven't screwed up those draft picks, Josh Jacobs, and all that. But again, this is the time of the year. It's like clockwork when the Chargers figure out, hey, we better start playing some games. So, oh Christ, it is. I can't handle the smell of Bakersfield. Chad Dix, you're exactly right. It's fucking oil.
Awesome.
Oh, it's all it is there is oil, man.
You nailed it.
Oil and a bunch of Buck Owens whores. Again, and Merle Haggard. Again, off subject. I'll take the Chargers. Oh, the Cucks. I'll take the Cucks. Like my own post.
It's a home game. I think the Raiders are going to win. I like the Raiders.
Hey, one more thing. Hey, two more things before you go over to Brian, and I can't wait for that piece either.
We got a minute. We got 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay. Like I said, I hate that Thursday nighter because players still need that full 6-7 days to recover, and they're not getting it. All right, so I hate that game just for that fact alone. All right. When it comes to distractions for NFL teams, they can sit there and tell you until you're blue in the face, hey, what we do on the field has nothing to do with what's going on off the field. Yeah, that's bullshit. That is how do you think the Chargers feel when they go play in their freaking Texas high school stadium holds more than a soccer field? That's sacrilegious right there, a freaking soccer field. Okay, that's going to affect them.
Hey, it's called a pitch.
Pitch your ass off for all I care, man. That's going to affect them. And that's what's amazing about the Raiders is this has been going on for 2 or 3 years. And now they're finally starting to put out a decent product. And how do you think the people of Oakland, who have been jilted twice, by the way, by that franchise,
Still pack it.
still
Going to pack the black hole.
Well, yeah. I mean, and I feel, again, this goes back to big brother, little brother. And how the city of San Francisco looks at Oakland, and every time Oakland gets one up on San Francisco, actually they don't care if they win a title. They just want to shove it in San Francisco. And God bless them, man. God bless them.
I'm shocked they don't have their parades in Oakland.
You get shot. Well, it's like when the Warriors went to San Francisco. I know people sit there and say, "Well, what were the Well, then Oakland and the Warriors." Okay, that was Golden. Even though it's Golden State, that was their team. The mystique playing there, but even before they became the Warriors, they had a great fan base of people in Oakland. They loved the Warriors. I know people find that hard to believe, but that's the fact. But when they become all Hollywood and they jacked up the prices and freaking Silicon Valley threw their $700 to get a courtside seat, you took the mystique and the magic out of Oracle, and I hated that.
I can remember 6-7 years ago hearing Reggie Miller on TNT. They were doing a Warriors game, and the Warriors were toward the end of the season. They'd won like 12, 15 games.
A good season for them.
Terrible. And he was talking about, he said, this is the loudest 12-win arena in the
It
NBA.
was a great fan base, but as soon as they go across the bridge to San Francisco and play in the Chase Center, well, it's not called the Chase, it's called Chase Center. The mystique, whether even Steph Curry has said that. Now, that's the face of the franchise. You're like, okay, this is a nice place, but I really miss Oracle. So,
Yep.
but getting back to, I'll take the Cucks because this is their time of year, Bill. This is their time of year. That's my pick.
I will go.
One more before you go. Well, go ahead and pick yours.
I'll go Oakland 24, Cucks 20, late interception by Rivers because he don't pull out quick enough.
And after he picks it off, he's going to knock his wife up for triplets.
Yeah.
Hey, even though I can't wait to listen to Brian's part on college basketball because Brian knows his shit when it comes to college basketball. But I'm going to throw this to Jason. When it comes to the top 10 and when it comes down to the Final Four for the college football mythical national championship, what people like to say, the problem they're going to have, and I hope he gives me his input, is if you have a one-loss Oregon and a one-loss Oklahoma, which it's looking like it's going to come down to, because I don't see Oklahoma losing another game. All right, that Kansas State game was a wake-up call for them. Is it too late? Probably, even though I've said that before and been wrong. But that's really going to be a pickle for the selection committee if they have a one-loss Oklahoma and a one-loss Oregon, and how much that lost to Auburn. And what if Auburn has 3 or 4 losses at the time it happens, and Kansas State has 2? How do they add that up? That's going to be the issue I see happening, and that's what I'm going to sign off with, Bill.
Sweet.
All right, man.
Hey, everyone, don't forget Cash and Big E, Sundays and Mondays.
Yeah.
It's must watch sports.
Hey, man, especially when he's had a bottle of frickin' apple.
All right.
All right, Bill.
I'm about to bring Brian on, and we're about to talk about some basketball.
All right. See you guys later. Can't wait to watch it.
Have fun. And there he is, Mr. Brian Maxwell.
Well,
a Southern savant.
Yeah, I got to get the camera adjusted so I can fit my big gigantic head in this camera lens.
It took me a while. I had to figure it out.
Well, I know you got to get Jason on here because y'all got more important stuff that everybody wants to listen to. So, how's the sound and everything? Everything good?
Oh, it sounds great.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
Well, all right, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. I figure I'll start with the first game because, the second game is obviously you, Big Blue Nation. So I'm going to give you props on that one. But the first one, my first take was, well, first and foremost, obviously it's my favorite time of year, college basketball, and the fact that they were doing 1, 2, 3, and 4 was just, to me, was perfect. But the start of the game and all throughout the game, I thought to myself, oh my God, this is a mistake to have these two teams play first game of the season. I
did too.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I mean, the first word that came to my mind when I was thinking about this and what we talk about would be it was just pure sloppy. And then, then of course they mentioned the Kansas having 28 turnovers. And
28 turnovers.
28 turnovers. And they didn't even break their record. Their record was against Xavier in '88, I think, in the first round and they beat Xavier 85-72. And they had
that was
30.
Back in the Manning days.
Yeah, and of course I just watched Danny Manning take his first L for Wake Forest. But so anyway, but most of the time when I'm watching, I look at certain things and obviously, as much as you don't like Coach K, he did an outstanding job of coaching last night.
I like him as a game coach.
Yeah. One reason in particular to me, between McCormick and Azubuike, they were going to get creamed. They should have gotten demolished. In fact, they did. They got out rebounded by like 10 rebounds when I looked at the stats the next day, right? And actually, Kansas won the statistical battle and everything: 3-point percentage, shooting, even free throws. But the problem was, and I noticed this right off the bat, and this is why I can't stand Self, is that he didn't make any adjustments to what Coach K was doing.
Nope.
Coach K knew he was going to get demolished in the paint, so what did he do? He double-teamed the entry pass into the post every single time.
If you've ever watched Coach K coach, you know that's coming.
Yeah, and the first play of the game, they did a backdoor cut when they hit Azubuike at the high post. But that's what you have to do. You have to, between him and McCormick, they should have been high-low, screening for each other. Some guys crashing to the basket. It was not. I mean, I was just like, dude, you're never going to get a good shot. And
you go high-low with that corner shooter, and you can't stop it.
Yeah, and I mean, even if they go into the game knowing that's going to happen, Azubuike's not going to be able to get his points, but at least he can facilitate other people, and that's what good coaching does for you. And they talent-wise, I think Duke is going to have their moments, but I don't think they're as talented as they have been in the past. They're going to be deep, though. They had a lot of guys play a lot of minutes.
Duke, and people don't take this the wrong way, but Duke is a really white team.
Really what?
They're a really white team.
Yeah.
They are slow at several positions, and that's what I mean by it. Nothing bad. They're slow.
And they're slow, and they all they can do
in a post.
Yeah.
Had no business forcing some of the turnovers he forced and doing some of the things he did. Talent-wise, he wasn't even close to matching up to that.
You said the correct word, White. That's the kid's name, is White. I think that was his name. He got smashed in the face or right below the eye during one portion of the game. But I mean, it came down to the end. I mean, it's just like I said, 28 turnovers. Even if let's say you only have 5 turnovers, okay? Let's say you only have 23 turnovers, right? And then you say, okay, well, look, out of half of those turnovers, right? If I don't commit half of those turnovers and I get 1 point out of those turnovers, then Kansas kills them. I mean, they beat them by 10, 12 points. I mean,
and for what it's worth, Kansas is headed to probation probably before the tournament, so
they
may not even.
Yeah, we talked about that last night. I mean, Self is done, dude. I mean, I just can't see how he can avoid it.
Serious stuff. Yeah. His stuff is worse than Patino's, and Patino's never going to coach again.
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to avoid.
I don't either.
Getting out of that one
all right, let's move on to the second game.
Yeah, I'm gonna start. I'm going to say not as sloppy as the first game, and then I'm going to let you have it after I say these 3 things.
Yep.
Maxey. Go ahead.
Okay, I was shocked. I was shocked by Maxey. And I watched the blue-white game.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the 2 exhibition games. I'm like, okay, defensively, this kid's great. He's got a lot of speed. He's playing a little out of control. And he was clanking everything in those exhibition games. Last night.
He wasn't last night.
An 18-year-old kid playing his first real college game against number 1 in the Garden. And he drops the most points ever by a Kentucky freshman in their debut.
You know what's funny, though, is that when he made that last 3-pointer, the first thing that came to my mind was my old JV basketball coach when I pulled up from about 5 feet behind the top of the key. And he said the same thing. Maxey, what are you doing? And I was like, I made it, coach. And you could see Calipari on the sidelines when he pulled up and took that shot.
Yeah.
It's like I thought he was going to say, what are you doing? He just turned to him and goes, I made it. I mean, what do you want?
But really, when he caught that and went to shoot it, I really thought, I had no doubt that was going in.
Oh no, I mean
when
he
that
was.
ball left his hand, and most of the time I'm just like you. I'm like cringing. I'm like, dude, really? We needed to drive that ball into the paint.
He was on fire. He was just
on
absolute fire. Cassius tried to put him on his back, but he had a horrible shooting night. Not having Langford is going to
very well defended.
Yeah,
and that's the
Hagens
one
is
thing
good.
about Kentucky.
Yeah,
and I said this last night. They are probably 6 weeks ahead of where Calipari usually has them defensively. Watching their rotations.
Yeah.
For that many young kids was amazing.
Well,
and that's what you can judge that defense off. It's all about how you rotate and how you recognize and talk.
Yeah,
I really think Sestina, being a senior and being so vocal,
yep, he's going to help them
really
a lot.
Made those freshmen.
Where did he transfer from? Bucknell.
Bucknell.
Okay, yeah.
And he actually transferred because they don't have a graduate program.
Yeah. Well, hey, it helps. It helps out Big Blue Nation.
They don't have a graduate
program. I mean, I was thinking about it afterwards, and I looked at it. You know, Michigan State got the this year's #1 ranking curse, but yep. I don't think they were not having Langford, like I said, and then I just don't think again. I look at it every year because I'm a big Izzo fan, but he goes out and he'll play. He doesn't care who it is, where it is. He's going to play you, and he's focusing to get his guys. Yeah, he cares about March. He doesn't care.
I mean, and the team will be ready in March.
Yeah, I mean they're going to be playing.
When comes back, they probably are the best team in the country.
Well, he won't be back until January, but they've got some. They're going to have some tough games coming up. And then they go out to Maui. They might have to actually play. I think Kansas is on the other side of the bracket, and then they get Duke at home.
Kansas and Duke.
They get Duke at home in the ACC Big Ten Challenge.
Yeah.
And then, but like I said, Izzo. Kentucky's biggest. Kentucky's got 2 big games this year. They're going to play Louisville and they're going to play Florida. And that Louisville game might be that's
going to be
top 5. Yeah, that could be the biggest game of the year. And just to throw this out here because I know you got to bring Jason on. Yeah, and I can't wait to see that. But I wanted to throw this out there. I think after seeing the highlights of Wiseman at Memphis, holy you-know-what. And then I got to give a shout-out to the guy I played softball with when I was stationed in Colorado Springs, Hunter Maldonado. I think I posted it on Sportstalk today. He had a really bad injury last year in a game against Denver. And so he took a medical red shirt. So he's a red shirt sophomore. Came out last night against Idaho State. And for him, I figure next week or whenever you decide you want to bring, we'll go.
Oh, we'll do it. We're going to start doing this every week if you can.
Yeah, I'll try and give you. I'll try and look at it and see what I think, like my preseason top 10, and maybe who I think is going to be the contenders to the last year.
20 minutes every week.
Yeah, I don't want to take up too much of the time because I know you got Cash and Jason, and they have way better takes than I do.
They're both long-winded too.
I apologize, but like I said, I was going to defer to you on that because that's a huge win for Kentucky. I think they're going to be just as talented as they always are, and like I said, nobody's going to challenge them in the SEC except for maybe Florida. I'm not so sure about Tennessee yet, so we'll see.
And just the disclaimer: I thought they would lose by about 15 last night.
I wasn't so sure because I
didn't know Richards was playing either.
Yeah.
That 25 minutes he gave them was huge.
Yeah, I was looking at the minutes that Kentucky had, and Calipari actually they had about 9 guys that went over 20 minutes, I think. So, yeah, that's
that's a good deep team.
Yeah, I don't think that you're going to have any issues, and
nope.
I'm looking forward to it, but I'll jump off here, man. Thanks for letting me on, and hopefully. Hopefully we can do this,
next week.
Yeah, we can do this every now and then and talk some hoops.
Awesome.
All right, well, enjoy how about F you, because you know that's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right.
See ya.
I'll talk to you next week.
Later.
Later. Now I'm going to bring on Jason, and yes, it's high tech. I'm going to do this on an iPhone. And we are going to talk some football. I know you guys love football more than anything else. And that was an awesome segment today with Brian. There he is.
Woo!
Professor himself.
Yes, sir. So what are we talking about?
I'm going to have to make this a 2-hour show before too long.
You might have to do that.
Or do 2 nights a week.
No shit.
I may have to go to a second week. All right, let's jump right in, and we'll start with the debacle. What I like to call the debacle in Tallahassee that they currently got going on. For those that don't know, they fired their head coach. Coach Taggart is no longer with the program. He was a bad hire to start with. Good guy, good coach, wrong spot.
Not a good coach. He's a good recruiter. Always been a good recruiter. Never been a good coach. Never showed that anywhere. But hey.
Well, okay, that's what I meant by good coach. He can recruit.
He can recruit. Yeah, got you that. Hey, so first off, let me tell you, this isn't a great destination. We want to pretend that it hell means something, but it don't mean shit right now. It's a shit program. It's a terrible program right now. Today, it's bad. It's just what it is. Facilities are bad. Boosters are bad. They don't have the money they think they do. And let's be honest, Bob Stoops hadn't announced yet, and it's been 48 hours.
Right.
So is this a game? We're playing a game?
Did he show up and look at the facilities and go, you're joking, right?
Yeah, right. You really want me to come here and do this shit? You want me to resurrect this program? I'm not sure about that, right? So I don't know.
Youngstown State.
It might be the same. So, here's the thing about Florida State. Jimbo was their legacy guy, right? He was a legacy guy, following Bowden, on Bowden's staff.
And that was Bowden's program.
And it was without question. Always, and probably always will be.
Yep.
He's a Bear Bryant.
Yep.
He's a Bear Bryant at Florida State, without question. So, is it a great program? Not really. I don't think it is. Not today. So how much damage has Taggart done?
Right.
And so Taggart can recruit Florida, maybe. I don't know if that recruiting class coming in is that great. It's touted as pretty good. There's some 4 or 5, there's some 4 stars in there somewhere. But I don't know. But I will tell you this, and you mentioned this earlier this week too. Minnesota locked up Fleck really quick.
Hey,
so
didn't take them but a sec. As soon as Fleck said I haven't met with them, Minnesota's like, hey, we would like to extend you.
Yeah. Well, and
and he was smart to say.
Absolutely. But what I'll say is that's Jimmy Sexton working his magic.
Yep.
Nobody better in the business than Jimmy Sexton. He owns a good third of the college football landscape, and there's no doubt about that. So he locked it up, and so do they get Stoops? I don't know. Maybe they do. If they don't, where do they go from there? Do you go to a Group of 5 guy? Do you go to Arkansas State guy or Arkansas State guy?
If they don't get Bob, they're going to Mark. He's the next one up.
Now you're telling me that he's going to stay.
He has the best recruiting class coming in. Next year will be Kentucky's best team under Stoops. And then that's counting last year's 10-win team.
Right.
He has every piece in place to make a run at the east side at least. He can get to Atlanta next year. Everything's there for him to have that up. We're going to play competitive in every single game. We could actually win and go to Atlanta. Stoops realizes that as well.
I don't agree with you. I know you said that before, based on what he recruited. But I'll be honest with you, the roster in Georgia is still going to be off the chain, man. I mean, the way he's recruited is crazy.
And he's still going to have Fromm.
Well, he won't Fromm next year.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
He'll still have. He won't have Fields. So
Right.
for that, whatever that matters, you know. Here's my overall take of Florida State. It's a mid-tier program right now.
Yes.
And they're going to hire a guy. They're going to hire a guy that is not a legacy guy.
Right.
And they're going and that may be okay, right? To bridge a gap, to get them back to where they need to be. You know, they're not getting Campbell, they're not getting Rule. That's already
Right.
Fleck's already locked up. They're not getting those guys, so they're going to look for something that's different than that. You know, so I just go ahead.
I can tell you who the right hire is, and it's Mike Leach, because he can come in. He's won every place he's been. He's got that high-powered offense that those boosters are wanting to see, and he can handle Florida State. He can handle boosters. He can handle the school. He can handle the press.
Just not.
Don't care.
I know, but he's just not a guy that can be a premier coach.
Yeah, you're 100% right. But he can win. He can win 10 games in that conference.
Okay, I won't argue that at all.
Clemson.
Right.
It's just
not
like
being Clemson.
It's just like.
But he can beat. Hey, he can beat all those other garbage teams in that conference.
Right.
Every day of the week, ends in Y, and twice on fucking Sunday.
Yep.
He can do that.
If he brings in the right guy to recruit Florida, he can compete. Even with Clemson, I think he can compete. But he has to bring in the right assistants, and it needs to be somebody he can turn that program over to in 5-6 years when he's done.
That's going to be the challenge, though. Can the guy that's the nomad pirate guy bring in guys that can recruit Florida? I'm not sure he can. And I mean, I get what you're saying, and I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't think that's what they're looking for. They believe their boosters believe that they are 1996 Florida State.
Yes,
that's what they believe, and they're not. That's the truth serum, by the way.
Any coach in the country not named Saban or Dabo.
Right. Hey, guess what? Urban Meyer ain't showing up. You know, Fleck ain't coming. Rule ain't coming. Campbell ain't coming. They're just not. And Herman ain't coming. And Herman might be an outside guy, honestly, because he sucked in Texas. I mean, so maybe he shows up, and maybe he shows up with his asshole on his shoulders, because he does that everywhere he goes. He's an asshole at Houston. He's an asshole at State. He's an asshole at Texas. I mean, he's just an asshole.
Yep.
So maybe that's what he wants. And by the way, hey, give the guy that's 150 miles south of them a call.
Yeah.
Because if you want a fucking asshole, call Lane Kiffin. Because that motherfucker's an asshole.
Yes.
Hey, if you're looking for that guy's an asshole. And he can recruit. He can recruit there. He can actually recruit North Georgia. He can recruit Tennessee.
That was his last good recruiting class.
No, absolutely. Without question. So he can recruit Tennessee, North Georgia. He can recruit South Ohio. He's done it all, right? Bring the guy in and give the guy the mic, because he's going to turn your program into shit in 4 years, and you're going to be on probation.
Right.
Giddy up, motherfuckers. Let's go.
But it'll be a fun
Bring him in. Oh, yeah. I love to watch it. So.
All right. Enough of FSU. We will move on now to last night's college football poll release. which happened at halftime of the basketball game, which was, in my opinion, very poor timing on the
Terrible timing.
terrible timing.
Yeah. So, hey, here's what I'll tell you. Every time we have these things, every time we see something about this smoky room, politicians in a room somewhere trying to tell us which team is best, which team is good, which team is bad, and it's all bullshit. It's terrible. It's the worst thing we've ever had, in my opinion. And I'll tell you why. And it's not because Ohio State is ranked number 1 today. It's because they just say this roster is better than everybody else's roster. And that's it. They leave it all on the fucking table. And so everybody whined, complained. We have to redistribute the wealth. Because the SEC won 8 BCS championships in a row, right? 7, 8, whatever it is, right? So we have to redistribute. So the worst thing that could happen in all of this was Ohio State won the first one. So they got it right. They got it right that year, by the way. But here we go. It's all about what's on your roster, right?
Yep.
Baylor's got a bitch. Minnesota's got a bitch. They have reasons to bitch about what's going on, right? But it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they look at helmets. They don't look at what you did on the field. They look at helmets. And if they look at helmets, then why play the fucking games? Let them all. Hey, line up Ohio State, Clemson, Alabama, Penn State, Michigan, and let them play it out. Because that's all you're doing. You're not doing anything different. You're not winning anything here. You got playoff at the end of the CF. Then fuck off. That's not fucking what you want. Right. You want that's not happening, right? So we have this group over here that says Clemson's the national champions, undefeated, not beaten. They should be number 1. Well, guess what? You're not. And you know why you're not? It's because you played like shit in the first 3 weeks of the season.
Yep.
Sunshine. Look, hey, that guy is not the guy from last year. He might be.
Had them.
Should have beat him.
Had them.
Should have beat him.
And they're done with a loss.
Oh, yeah. And hey, by the way, Alabama is too, and I'll jump right into that for a minute.
I think you're right.
For a minute. Right. So I'll jump right in a minute. Everybody knows my allegiance. I know issues with that, right? But Alabama LSU this weekend, biggest game of the year at this point, right? Is that fair?
It's fair. That's the 1-2 in the AP.
2-3 in CFP.
Yep, 2-3
fair
in
enough.
College football playoff.
Right. Alabama loses, they're out.
Yep.
They're gone. Right? LSU loses, they're not out.
Has to be close.
Has to be close. Right? So here's I'll backtrack for a minute on the CFP for a minute. I think Penn State is a much better resume than everybody wants to give credit for. That's number 1. They don't have a guy that they can hang their hat on.